Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play World of Warcraft, Wrath of the Lich King. As you can see, we advanced a bit, we got our mount, we are currently at a rogue quest which will allow us to use poisons, so yeah, I thought it would be kinda cool to show how to do that. And I got some skills, I also, increased my professions for a bit, so we should be good to go in this episode and hopefully we will be able to do quite some progress again. So thanks for joining, I hope you enjoyed the last episodes as well, and yeah, if you have any feedback regarding those or, this episode, please always let me know in the comments. But without further ado, let's just start into this episode. That dwarf over there is our quest giver, so you can't approach him just like that. It's a level 30 elite, he will just kill you. Well, you don't want him to be hostile since again he's your quest giver, so what you need to do is fire a flare gun 2 times. Then type /salute, and as you can see, this is a nice script, works just like that. And nice, another level up right there, level 22 now, and he will require us to go into this tower and do a bunch of stuff actually, like steal with pickpocket, oh hello, but also, just simply kill enemies. But we are going to do this step by step right now. Alright, that is pretty weird, like just when I praised the scripting of this quest, for some reason it completely bugged out on me just now. I'm not too sure what it was. There was something about an add-on interaction that failed. I just can do anything and I don't have the quest in my log either, so that's very weird. I hope I will be able to fix it, but for now let's just move on a bit. Sorry about that. I guess I could talk a bit more about the abilities I picked up until this point. Well, off screen. Like Riposte, for example. I talked about this in an earlier episode, but pretty nice spell for PvE, especially like while questing, later on not so much in raids. But here it's awesome, like you can deal a good chunk of damage with that after enemies parry your attacks. And Riposte also maims then, which kinda means that it slows their melee attack speed by 20%, so you receive also less damage, which as a rogue is always great for leveling. Speaking of negating damage, we also got this mantle, which removes the weapon and shields and, other equipment carried in the weapon slots, I guess, for 10 seconds, which is also great. Also PvP wise, amazing against warriors, of course, and other rogues. Sprint is rather self-explanatory as well. 50% movement speed increase, later on it will go up all the way to 70. We also got Kick, which is great against any kind of caster. It interrupts all their spells. And we have another interrupt right here with Gouge, maybe even if you just want to wait for your cooldowns to reset. If you improve it through talent, you also have a chance to just run away for a bit and then enter stealth again. We also got our first useful opener. We got Ambush before, but as a combat rogue you rarely use it since you have a sword or like a mace. A slower weapon at least as your main hand. Ambush only can be used if you are holding daggers, so there's no way. Garrett, on the other hand, doesn't really care about the weapon you wield. It scales with attack power and also does a respectable amount of damage. On top of that, PvP wise it disables rogues or druids from re-entering stealth. Well, not quite, but since it's a debuff they get out of it again, they take damage from it. So as a rogue this is probably one of your best openers. You could argue that Sheep Shot is a bit better later on, especially in regards to PvP since it stuns the target for a while, but we will get to that eventually. Okay, looks like this quest is still not working, even though I waited for a bit and re-entered with my flare gun. This for some reason doesn't do anything for him, like he was still hostile and I had to use my salute and flare guns. I have no idea what's going on, to be honest. Looks like we have to wait for this to be fixed and I might have to open a ticket for that, so I think I will catch you soon. Alright guys, short intermission here, sorry for all the confusing stuff, but I managed to get in contact with one of the developers, so really huge shout out to you guys, thanks for the quick help. One of my add-ons, probably LVUI, I would imagine, led to my quest log just bug out completely. So with all those things being fixed, I just advanced the quest for a bit, as you can see on the screen right now. But for the last pick we are going back to the recording, which is about right now. Alright guys, and we are back. Sorry for this confusing bit, and also I forgot another thing right here. In order to get to the top, or to open the treasure at the top, you need another key, so best thing to just zap this guy right there. But be careful not to aggro all of them, because then, let's just say they have a pretty high aggro range, so it's good to just walk around. It's also no problem to just kill one of those guys, to be honest, as long as you are not in range of this guy, because you can't kill him. Like, if you kill him, he won't drop the key, you really need to zap and to pickpocket him. So best thing just to get rid of those guys and take your time with the foreman itself. I would recommend you to come from this part right here. Otherwise he might see you. And there it is. As I already have shown you in the intermission, kill those guys. And also the patrollers and the lookouts we're going to pass shortly. I already did this, so there's no need to kill them again right now. And there we go, top of the tower. Again, set this guy right here and just use the key. Okay, I'm not sure what to tell you guys. This is so ridiculous right now. But well, this time straight out is a bug. Like, you should be able to use the key in order to open the box. But we have a workaround for this, of course. We can skill up lockpicking, which I'm going to do in a short minute. But holy shit, I'm very sorry for this budget bit of a quest line. Like, this did really not work out as I planned. But the thing about this MMORPG is that it's really hard to redo stuff. So you just have to bear with me here, and I will come back in a minute. I will show you the location where you can increase your lockpicking skill. We will return and then we will finally do this quest. So here we are, right outside of Ratchet, like a bit to the south. If you get right into this ship here, there will be some boxes you can lockpick and, well, increase your skill. This might take a while, so maybe watch something while you do this and just click from time to time. It's basically like fishing with maybe sounds enabled, but you don't even have to do that right here. Just click them, and as you can see, your skill will increase time after time. If you pick up a rogue quest at level 10, you also will get sent to this area, so you shouldn't miss the spot. But since the rates are increased so high, well, I just skipped that level 10 quest. But in the end, as you can see, I would always recommend to do it, since you won't miss out on stuff like that. Lockpicking is a bit tedious to skill up, but it can be worth it. If you initiate on enemies from stealth, always make sure to pickpocket them first, and you have a good chance to receive some better chunk boxes, which will, well, for once, also allow you to bring up your skill even more. And on top of that, from time to time, they even have some nice loot in them. I guess one positive aspect about coming here later would be that you can increase your skill even further, because the level cap is always your actual level times 5. So if you come here at level 10, it's only like 50, and I think with those boxes you can get all the way up to 80, and if you are really patient, maybe even higher. Since at higher levels, sometimes you need to lockpick around 10 of those chests in order to even get just one skill point, sometimes even more than that. You might have noticed that the skill requirement went from orange to yellow, but the skill increase rate is still kinda okay. Once they turn green, it's a test of your endurance. Since we are at the topic of lockpicking, the quest we just tried to do at the tower is actually also a pretty nice provider of high lockpicking skill. It might seem like a very unintuitive and strange method, but trust me, compared to the other methods, it's actually pretty efficient. Alright, skill of 70, that should be enough for now. Okay, so for the final part of this quest, you need to kill Gallywix. So maybe if your equipment is good enough, then you can try to do this alone. I will certainly, since I brought no one with me. Keep in mind to pop your cooldowns and you should be fine. Let's open with a Garrett. Immediately use our racial right there. Also nice. Post. And I think over damage we will deal more with Rupture, so let's take this one. It's pretty easy. Like with all your cooldowns, Dismantle just gives you an amazing lead, and Riposte is also pretty nice. So just like that, we also got Gallywix set. So as you can see, it's still orange, so a very nice method to level up. But as you can also see, cannot use stealth or turn invisible. So I probably should just leave this for now. Also, I'm not too sure of the respawn time on this server, but yeah, it's alright. So this is like, oh, I should be careful here. And apparently I can also use stealth, so a bit of a buggy quest, I have to admit. Like, the one thing was because of my add-on, like the quest log was just not working, but maybe the scripting on this one particular quest is not that great. But in the end, we still made it, and we still managed to make it work, so yeah, I guess I'm just very happy to get out of this place right now. Keep in mind, you don't have to visit the dwarf again, you can just go back to Orgrimmar, which I would almost always recommend you to do. For once, it's pretty nice to finally get your poison ability, and on the other hand, Touch of Stencil is very annoying, and most of the time you can find some sort of healer. Maybe you can even go to the crossroads and try your luck there, but usually in Orgrimmar you should have way higher chances to find a healer. So poisons and getting rid of this poison, and this is more than enough reasons to go back to Orgrimmar, I guess. You know the saying, Rome wasn't built in a day. So let's finally hand in this quest. Recipe for Fizzlety, some nice experience, so level 23 right now. And to top this complete disaster of a quest off, all the things I've been saying in this video about you need to do this quest in order to learn your poison ability were complete bullshit, of course, since I somehow forgot we are in Wrath of the Lich King, although this is a Wrath of the Lich King let's play, and of course in Wrath you don't need your poison ability, you just buy the stuff, like instant poison at level 20 available, get a bunch of those, and well, of course I still would recommend you to do this quest, even though it can be a bit buggy or incoherent, but it's still quite fun. It requires you to use a bunch of your rogue abilities, so it's also kinda nice for the roleplay aspect, I guess, and you get a recipe for Fizzlety. Alright, back to questing. Sorry again for this complete shit show. Maybe you just skipped ahead. So here we are, back at questing Tribes at War. Alright, hand that one in. Don't remember, it was about killing some killboars. And now, as I mentioned in the second episode, keep those blood shards, they are very important. For one, nice follow-up right here, which will lead to even yet another follow-up, and also to a bunch of nice buffs you can see right here. I personally like the agility one very much, but also I guess Razorhide is pretty nice for melee classes. Little thorn buff right there. Strength couldn't hurt, and I think for 10 blood shards you also gain a movement speed increase, so that is always nice too. And let's go. For some reason my quest log is completely bugged out, and I thought it would be about this particular rogue quest, but I think I need to delete my WDB folder in order to make this right, because yeah, there's no way I can continue playing with this. So I guess it's time for another short intermission. Yay! But yeah, maybe some of you have this problem too. Basically, if you play on a bunch of servers and also have different progression on those servers, you can have issues with the WDB folder in your Wrath of the Lich King folder. Just go into that one, WDB, and then basically delete all of that. You can also just delete this one right here. Very important, don't confuse it with the WTF folder, because well, this pretty much will spell your reaction. If you do it, will delete all of your account settings, your keybinds, and it's yeah, pretty bad. So don't do that, always go right here, and we will see if it will resolve my issues in a minute. Okay, looks like it worked. Probably should have done that way earlier. This episode is riddled with little problems. I guess sometimes that's just the way it is, right? Let's continue with some quests. I think I'm going to finish Barrens for this episode, and then next episode we might go to Terran's Mill or Ashenvale. I actually haven't decided yet. So to at least give you some useful information in this one, I guess I can show you some NPCs in the Barrens that provide some nice EXP. For one we have Overtanga right here, and he drops, I think, his tail, yeah, tail spike. So hand that in for some juicy experience. Fortunately, for some reason, logging out removed our buffs. Yeah, I actually need to go back to the camp. My initial goal was to get level 30 today, but I don't want to make those episodes too long. But I think finishing the Barrens could also be a pretty good conclusion. This quest right here is pretty easy. You can kill the NPCs around the area to gather some eggs. And you can also use those Silphid mounts. But for that, of course, you need your Digging Claw, which the quest giver will provide you with. And there we go. Finally some progress in this episode. And we just entered another Quillboar quest area. And another NPC I wanted to show you here is Washtepone. Sorry, no idea. But yeah, just like the one lizard we killed before, this one also drops an item which you will be able to hand in for some nice experience. There we go. This time it's a feather. So just accept it and go back to the camp if you see fit. The quest weapons of choice can be a bit annoying, since the drop rate of those items, like the weapons that you need, can be quite low, so expect to be here for a while. Here's Cass for the Betrayal from Within quest, very close at the street. Right when you enter this area. Over there we have neck. But be aware of those stalkers. They are stealthed and there are a bunch of those guys around this area and you can get ambushed quite easily. Nice thing is they already dropped their backstabber, like the dagger weapon you need for the quest. He goes down pretty easy since it's more of a caster type, so you shouldn't have any issues. Again, be aware of those stalkers, and if you are lower level or if you don't have that good of an equipment as I have, then maybe take your time a bit to clear this area before you engage him. Pretty good luck so far. Again, as you can see, bunch of those stalkers. Be careful out here. On top of that hill, there's the last NPC we need to kill, and guarding it there will be a bunch of Razormane War Frenzies, which we also need in order to get the last weapon, the shields they wear. So in my opinion, pretty neat questing area. If you are lucky it can go by very fast, but you should be at an appropriate level I guess. Otherwise those stalkers just get way too frustrating. And there he is, Orcbane. Starting with a nice garrote here. And down he goes already. So the only thing missing right now are the Razormane War Shields. It is really fun to play a rogue with good weapons. You feel very powerful, especially when riposte procs and when you get a bunch of crits. Nice, and there we go. I will wait for my Hearthstone to cool down and I will use the time to do another quest right here. I think I mentioned it when I was talking about the dig rats. Like the cooking quest, you can, I think, get around this area. I showed it to you, I think, in episode 1 or 2, probably 2. But yeah, this is the Dwarven digging site, and the Dwarven will give you a bunch of follow-up quests after the one Garn's Reclamation. This also can be a bit tricky to do alone, since we have a bunch of range enemies, and with a bunch, I really mean a bunch. There are plenty of dwarves around this area. But I think with my level and equipment we should be fine here. Just make sure not to get too many debuffs on you, like Torch Toss stacks. Also make sure to use Pickpocket before you initiate, so you gather some more gold. Well, silver in this case, but in the end it all amounts to gold, right? And if you're lucky you also get some locked boxes, so if you have the chance then just use it. Right at the end of the dig site there is Prospector Kesquorm. And of course you need to kill him, besides all of the unnamed NPCs, in order to complete the quest. Well, actually, not just kill him, but also loot his journal. By the way, this is one of the dig rats I was talking about earlier. Right now I can just attack them, but with the quest there's a little loot icon on them. It's not the fastest quest out there, but the follow-ups are not too hard either, so I think it's well worth it. Like this quest for example, if you are lucky it also goes by very fast. Because those soldiers can drop variants, as you can see right here, of those quest items. So we might be able to get this through very fast. But again, be careful. Bunch of ranged NPCs here, so you shouldn't take this too lightly, I guess. As for our next abilities, Aggression of course is pretty nice with a 3% damage increase, and since we are spamming Sinister Strike, this is very well worth it. But I also like Lightning Reflexes for PvE leveling phase, since the melee haste is pretty awesome and dodge chance always is very neat when it comes to fighting. So after handing this quest in, there's a last follow-up. This one is very easy to do, and this is one of the reasons I like to do this chain. The quest rewards itself are not that great, but experience is good and you also get some reputation with Thunderbluff. Just go up this ramp, ignite the machine, and there you go. And just like that, we are about to be finished with the Barrens. So yeah, bumpy road for this episode. Sorry again for all the inconveniences. This is the ring you get. Again, not that great for us personally, but it's one of the first rings you will receive, and I guess for that it's fine. Going to use our Hearthstone. With those 3 quests, I think we are going to get to level 27.5 maybe. So we didn't miss our goal by that much, I suppose. Like at least we got to level 27, right? We finished the rogue quest and we also finished the Baron. Again, this should conclude our episode, and while I'm handing in all of those quests, I guess I can already finish with some final statements. So again, thanks for watching guys. I hope you did enjoy this episode still, and let me know what kind of experiences you had with the rogue quest. Maybe some of you can share that too and had some similar stuff going on. I will go back to the crossroads now, hand in the 2 remaining quests, maybe even reach almost level 28 with that. Have a great day everybody, and I see you in the next episode. Until then, take care and bye.